Hello and welcome to the channel again. This time we're on episode 12, I believe, of the Formula 1 build. Up until this part, no, including this part, we're still doing fiddly details. Hurrah! Ah, that's a great start. Back in a sec. Anyway, there we go. Apologies for that. My grandson's not well, so just getting a phone call update on that. Right. So yeah, where was I? Fiddly bits. Yes, we love them. Let's do some more. Right, so here we are. First of all, you may see various bits and pieces on the screen that are nothing to do with this build. My apologies, I have so many different projects on the go, and they're sort of all scattered about. I don't know if I can probably zoom out a little bit, but I've got paint. You can't see them, but there's paints for the trawler boat going on there. There's metallic paints for this. There's super glues going on for something else, and yeah, it's all a bit of a hodgepodge here at the moment. This is the one you need to be concerned with. This is the Formula 1 build. This is the one we're going to be working with. As you remember, the last time we had such joyous fun. Yeah, with that. So now we're moving on to step 12 basically, and step 12 is going to be so much more fun. So I'm just going to try and bring that up to you there. Let me just get that in focus. So you can see these pieces, and let me show you one of these pieces, just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Bear with me, come on. So there's one of, so this piece is, just looking at it, I've got it back to front there, so let's look at it, is E6, E20, and E7, right. Okay, just trying to get it orientated on the camera. Now, them pieces are that's the piece. They're almost to, in fact, they're almost to scale on the drawing, and you can see how many different colours are required on this. So we've got an X3, an X18, X11. Oh no, that's that one. No, we've got X18, X3, and X. Right. So we've got a lot of fiddly, bloody painting to do. Did I say bloody? I meant joyous. Joyous. So let's get these out. Let's get these pieces out that need painting. Which I think is those. There's 4 in total. This is going to be considerable, so there'll probably be lots of fast forwarding and stuff like that. All the good stuff that no, need the. So I'm going to be using POSCA pens for this bit because what did I do with the POSCA pens? Oh, I moved them over there, that's right. So this is my POSCA pen collection. And right, so I just need to, apologies for the, I did get most of this done ahead of time. So for example, I did sand all these down and get rid of all the little bumps and that off there. So we've got X3 is our first colour. Now one of these I was thinking of spraying. Bear with me X3 Royal Blue. Right, I don't have the Royal Blue, so I think that must have been the colour I was going to spray. And then we've got X8. One of these was yellow, I'm sure of it. Was it X8? X8 yellow. Right, this is this one down here. Okie doke. Which is a tiny little piece that needs to be done on each one. Yeah, that's X8. Then we've got X18, which I'm almost certain is semi-gloss black. And then we've got X3, which is the blue rod. So it's X3, X18 and X8. Is that common throughout all? X3, X18, X8. Yes. So royal blue, semi-gloss black, and right. So this royal blue is going to have to be painted, I think. X3 is quite a dark royal blue. Let me just reach for it off my rack. There we go. Yeah, it's a very dark royal blue. So, yes, I've made a bit of a clusterfuck there, I'm afraid. Had I thought ahead, I would have painted these in royal blue ahead of time. As it is now, I'm going to have to paint them and then wait for them to dry. So, I apologise for my mistake there. I got the colours mixed up. I thought I was... Okay, so we'll try and do it here. There's only needs a minimum amount of spraying, so we might get away with just doing it here. I don't want too much. The X3 is the main bar that runs along the top, so okay. Now I have this old, let's just chop the end off that yep, okay, we're good to go. Right, we really don't need much on there at all. Let's see how we go. We might need some tweezers, and we may need to do them in various stages. So red. I cleaned this out last night. What's going on? Okay, so I was using red last night, but I thought I'd cleaned it out. Right, we may need to... Yeah, okay. I will be back in a minute when I've given this another clean. Back in a second! Okay, so we're back. Quite a bit later than I planned, actually, so things didn't go smoothly. The airbrush had some problems with it, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It took me about half an hour to discover that when I took it apart, the little nylon bush that sits on the end of the nozzle, the little white one, had fallen off while I was cleaning it. And of course, without that, it just keeps blowing the paint out the top of the cup. So it, you know, and I kept tightening the front up. I changed the rubber seal at the front, and it, you know, it just didn't dawn on me straight away. But I realised it in the end, and we got there, and I managed to get these parts painted. So we are at this stage now where, let me zoom in, we have these tiny little pieces and they are now royal blue. So now's the complicated bit where we have to paint each one of these little T-bars at the side. Holy moly, they have to be painted yellow. Right, so for that we're going to try one of the POSCA pens. I've got yellow, so we're going to open that, we're going to get that going, and we're going to try it that way first. Got more control with the pen than I have the paintbrush for this tiny area. I'm not exactly sure how much of this it will be seen, but I have to go on the basis that you're going to see something of it. So let's give that a shake. And if I remember, I think it was 6 times. Right. 10. We're not flooding out yet. 14. 15, 16. 17. Looks like it might be 20. 18, 19, 20. I'm going to give that a shake again. Still nothing at the moment. They are a bit temperamental to get going. We're starting to get a little bit of colour now coming down the... You can see, if I zoom in on that, you can see the colour starting to flood down the tip. Just got a little bit of white at the end. There we go. There. We're almost there. You can see on this a little bit more to go. Don't really want to go any more than that. We're there, right. Okay, so off we go. We're trying to do the T-bars, and I'm actually going to put the where are they? I'm going to this is going to look interesting, so I'm going to take my headset off a minute. So now I've got my headset on and the binocular vision. So let's try and turn that on. I don't think that will do any good, but you never know, it might help a bit. And right, I will apologise if my head gets in the way, but I need to get very close to this in order to do it. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. I try and do it so that can I get that into focus further away? Is there a way of no, unfortunately not. I have to get close, I'm afraid. I was just seeing whether there was a way I could do it, but there doesn't appear to be. Okay, so they're done. They're all them tiny little pieces are painted yellow. It's a fiddly job to say the least. It might need cleaning up a bit, just a very small amount. I'm going to wait to see how much can be seen, and then I will go ahead and clean up. And I'm just wondering whether to dip them in the gauzy rather than spray them. But again, I think I'm going to wait and see how they just all dry fit together. Now the next step we've got to do is, it looks like we've got to now add X18 to them parts there. Okay, so in the interests of transparency, I'm going to own up to my colossal mistake. I've got a paintbrush now. The reason for that is I've actually painted the T sections that I thought were yellow. I got the two colours mixed up, and they're actually meant to be black. So the pen I use for black paint for tiny things is the tip is much too big to get on here, so I'm having to paint them. The benefit of this is it does tidy everything up a bit. I used to love hand painting. Unfortunately, I get terrible tremors now, which I think is mainly down to the medication I take for other things. It's horrible stuff, medicines, when you have to take them long term. Oh, no, that's okay. But yeah, so it kind of ruined one of my favourite parts of the hobby which was hand painting. But I keep persevering, learning new techniques. Such as I'm doing now. I've got this pin down here, and because my wrist is supported here, I don't have any problems. What occurs is when you when it comes to lifting off and just holding freehand, that's when things really don't go well. Okay, so another thing we're going to try that's different now, we've got the black on there. It's not quite dry yet, but what we're going to try and do is we've used the pen, we can see how that works, but now I want to try something different. And what I've got here is one of the AK weathering pens, pencils. So I'm going to use this and just go round and just highlight the touch up the little bits that are supposed to be yellow. I was going to paint them, but I thought, you know what, let's just give these a try. And they are perfect. Just to go round. See where we got a bit of black on there. So we're just going to rub that out. So all I've done literally is dip the tip. Make sure you sharpen the pencil, get it nice and sharp, and just the tip of it in the water. Shake off any excess because you don't want it on there, and then you can literally do that. Oh, we've had a big blob come off there. That's because I had too much paint. Another thing we could do, if we so wanted to, is just using the brush, take the paint off, and then go round like so. Literally just touching up bits and pieces just to give it a bit more punch when you look at it. We do that with not all of them need doing, so there's a couple there on the end there. And there's one there. And it's mainly on the bottom that the black paint has flicked over or caught them. There we go. So these are more or less ready now. I will wait for them to dry properly, and then I may just go over the top with some of the royal blue, just to and you can dip your brush in some water if you want and just wet the, and these are excellent for this sort of thing. And if you sharpen the tip right up, you can get into places you probably couldn't have got before, especially somebody like me that struggles, you know, with the shakes and that, these can be a godsend when it comes to doing instruments and instrument panels and so on. See, I'm okay when it goes down like that. I'm fine. Once my wrist's supported, I'm fine. Weird. And then this one here. Just there. Okay. I believe. Oh, nearly missed a tiny bit on the end there. There we go. Finally, job done. Excellent. And then when you're finished, just gently, what I like to do is just gently turn it to get rid of the excess wet stuff there. As long as you haven't soaked the entire pencil, you're good to put it back in your case, if you've got one, or wherever it is you keep them. Oh, there we go. Right, so that is that's them done, ready. Now the other thing we need to do is we've got these they're the chrome plated D3. You know what, we've already been going 40 minutes. I think that's a reasonable amount of time for this episode. Apologies it took so long, but we've got them ready. Next time we'll go on, we'll dechrome these, and we'll start getting these put together, and then that's ready to all go on there then. Not long now before I think we come to the, yes, we start working on the chassis next. After this assembly all goes on the engine, we'll be looking at starting the chassis. So excellent. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Until then, bye.